Hi, I'm Nicole.
And I'm John. And these videos we're going to be putting out, it's all about moving to another country. We're leaving the United States and we're in the state of Texas and we're moving to France. And we wanted just to bring everybody along on the adventure with us so everybody sees, what we're going through and how we're having to go through it, okay? I've seen a lot of videos about this. So it's actually a real good thing to check out everybody's videos and try to get every perception possible and how they did it, how it was easy for them or hard for them. It can kind of help out a little bit. We are coming from a little bit of a different direction, which is why I thought maybe this was a need of us putting it out, because I'm already a national, French national. She is not. So it's a little bit different. We're not both seeking the same thing. And also, I have a lot of experience in France. Been there quite a bit. Lived there as a very young child. Have a lot of family and friends there. So I've had a lot of help on things to do, what not to do, etc. But there's still a lot of obstacles, and those obstacles usually come from this side as well in America. But some of the things I wanted to go over, like quickly, is why France.
Well, like John touched on, he's from France and he has family there. It's a beautiful country, and we really enjoy it when we go and visit. And it's very relaxing and stress-free for us, and it feels like home when we're there.
And she's right. There is a lot of people that say, well, everywhere you go on vacation, it's relaxing and it feels great. And I gotta admit, that's true. There's current things happening in the world that are creating the possibility for us to do this, and we actually think we're going to come out better by doing it. When we're there, it's a little bit different than vacationing. The first time I ever took Nicole to France, she had never crossed the pond. She had never left the borders of America. And sadly, for her, I didn't really take her to see all the sites. I didn't take her everywhere to see, the castles, the beach sites, into Italy, into Spain, all that kind of stuff, which most tourists do. Sadly, she had to pony along with me to one family member after another. Which, kind of don't expect if it's your first time to ever leave a country to visit a country like France. Learned a lot of things. We learned about how they ate. Learned about. She got to sit down and see how it functions.
It was a good experience. We got to see the small town culture. We got to see the little nooks and crannies of little villages that you don't get to see in a typical vacation.
And that is, go ahead and keep talking about that. That's a good point, because we're, basically the places you went to wasn't the tourist attractions.
No, they weren't tourist attractions, but in France, everything is so close together. It wouldn't take long for us to go anywhere, but we were able to drive around and experience the small towns and pop in on places that you wouldn't think about otherwise. And so that's the nice thing about France is the countryside is beautiful. So even though if you're wandering around, going from one family member to the next, you're still getting to see and experience the country and the sights, and it's beautiful. Everywhere you go, it's just amazing.
And if you're anything like my wife adores flowers. So literally every walk that I went on, I had to stop every 2 feet so that she could admire a certain flower and ask one of the family members what it is. Trust me, I don't necessarily like flowers, so my walking trip was basically 2 steps, stop, 2 steps, stop, 2 steps, stops. But she had a smile ear to ear because she adores nature. But that is kind of a different thing too with us than some of these other folks. We didn't go to tourist attractions. We went to where the typical everyday citizen in France goes to. Went to where they shop. We went to food places they go to, restaurants that they go to, not typically the touristic places. So Nicole, I guess on that side, which I'm glad we just talked about it, made me a little bit happier about the first trip I took her on and didn't take her to all these tourist attractions.
No, but we did get to visit a few places that were interesting, and we went to a castle, we went to the beach, we got to go to a little town that used to have Roman salt mines and stuff like that. So I mean, we did get to see and experience a lot of things just going from place to place that we were visiting.
Right. And the biggest thing that we caught out of it, right, is peace. It's a known fact that us Americans work very hard and work a lot of hours. Most families in America are working 2 jobs, wife and husband, to support everything that's going on. A massive amount of time spent on activities outside of school, massive amount of time spent with school activities. And because of that, in America, we're just go, 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 go. We order our food, we want it immediately. As soon as we finish our food, or we think we're done, we take the rest home and we leave immediately. You think about it, you don't have much time to sit down and have a conversation with your children or your spouse or with other family members that you might be sitting with. So that peace is something I've been yearning for a lot of time now. And I like to call that out because you don't want to live that lifestyle in Europe if you don't have patience. Because ask Nicole, how long does it take to eat a lunch or a dinner in France?
It's usually a couple of hours, depending on how many people are there, what meal it is. Because typically when we sit down to eat, we have a glass of wine or several. We have our
several.
We have our appetizer, we'll have several courses throughout the meal. So they'll start with a vegetable or meat and cheese and then we'll have our main course and then a salad and then a dessert typically afterwards. So, and that's not something they rush through. You sit down, you eat one thing at a time, you talk, and then they get up and they serve you the next course. We talk some more and then the next course. And so it's definitely not rushed. It's very intimate and it's very nice because you don't feel like you're being rushed through the conversation, the meal, or anything like that.
Right, and you don't have to be anywhere immediately. So you can
No.
enjoy the moment you have and talk and just conversate. Because most of the time when we were finished with dinners or lunches, we were still at the table for another hour, sometimes 2, after we were completed, just having conversations with either drinking liquor or drinking wine or just water, whatever. We still were sitting there having a conversation. And guess what? The young people were sitting right there also. So, I mean, that lifestyle is what we both want. And that's what she got to see firsthand from going over there the amount of times that we've already been. We tend to go every summer, which is really hot sometimes, but we tend to go there all the time. But I just wanted you to understand why we chose France over any other country and why we're also deciding to leave this country. And one thing I want to make sure that people know that watch this video, I am extremely patriotic. I mean, obviously, you see the hat, you see the back room over there. I served in the military. I'm a diehard veteran, and I love our veterans. My wife is the identical thing. She wears shirts with flags on it. She's very patriotic, okay? This has in no way or course anything to do with us hating our country. It absolutely is our love and passion in life to relax and to take some time to enjoy each other's company around family members and just take a slower pace. And how am I doing that? Because I'm going to tell you, I've seen a lot of these videos. They say that they're going over there to work. It is not that easy to move to France and find a job unless you are very fluent, and I mean very fluent in the language. It is not that easy. We're doing it because I have a military pension, and the money goes a lot further in Europe than it does here, quite a bit more. I could not live on my pension here. It would be impossible. We both need to work, or I need to work a lot of hours in order to survive and actually be able to keep up with things, especially groceries and everything else, especially nowadays with how high everything has gotten here. And honestly, due to research, it's not going down. It's going up, and it's going up everywhere. So this was our chance. I'm 51 years old, and I've decided that now's the time for me to do it while I still have the nuption to be able to walk and hike with this young lady right here, who will definitely make my legs burn and make me breathe hard every time we are walking and hiking anywhere near mountains. where she wants to keep going and look at everything, and I just want to sit down on a rock and take a break. Okay, so I could only imagine 10 more years from now, I couldn't keep up with her. All right, so this is going to definitely help that situation to where we can kick back, relax, spend some time together. Okay, we are going to a small village, which is also outstanding, and it's close to the Mediterranean. So, and we are taking a 12-year-old boy with us, my stepson, her son, and going through all the research and everything that we've done, and me even speaking to family members there and friends. Smartest thing to do is put them straight into public school. So that's what we're going to do. One of the future videos will be more about the education system for children, ages that we would suggest is best to take on going into a public school there versus not do it at all at certain ages in the public school. We'll go into that later. Some of the other things I want to talk about I think is important. If and this is more on her verse. For me, I simply have to go get a French passport and that's it. Okay, I'm done. For Nicole, we have to actually get her an extended stay visa, which I'm sure you've heard of quite a bit. But you see a lot of people over there that are going through the process of getting that while they're in France. Okay, but there is something in America you can do to actually break that down a bit and make it a little bit easier. You can apply for that visa while you're here through the consulate, the French consulate in Los Angeles. Okay, it's the only consulate in America that does visas. Okay, hers is not going to be difficult, obviously, because of my background, and she'll get it fairly fast, and she'll even get the rest citizenship just as fast because of me. The boy will take longer. So I just want to make sure you know that you have that opportunity. All the other consulates in America are not there for you. They're not. They're there for French citizens, mainly for identity cards, passports, commerce, stuff like that. I want to make sure y'all all knew that. You don't have to move there to do that visa. You can start the process right here, and it's all done online. You can scan your papers that they require and send them right into them and all the information they need. Other than that, again, I'm going to end this video and we'll go on further in this. The next video will be more about the process for the visa that she's going through, because I know that's a real important thing, and I want to try to give y'all some breaks on how to do it, and I will also try to put somebody on from the consulate to actually speak as well. But I wanted y'all all to know that, you know, unlike a lot of these folks, we're not moving over there with 6 or 7 figures in our account. We're not moving there over there because we're connected to a company that will allow us to work there remotely and still get the American pay. You know, we're going there on a pension. We're going there basically like how typical Americans live every day right here today, paycheck to paycheck. So it's possible, is what I'm saying. If there's any kind of questions you have related to our decisions on doing this right now, or any future possible videos that we're going to put out that you would like us to hit, let us know. To be straight up with you, my knowledge is southern France. I do not know much about the north of France other than it's way too expensive for my blood. So we're definitely staying in the southern part of France. Anything you have, drop it down in here. Please subscribe so you know when we get a new video out. I will try to post some links for the consulate also on this video, just to be sure that everybody understands. I am not no digital master. I have zero clue on how to do all these videos, so I'm learning as I go. I'm gonna hopefully turn to my wife to try to research some of that stuff. I'm putting links and all those nice little things that pop up on videos and everything, but I just wanted us to be face-to-face honest, okay? And if you reach out to us and you want to talk to us one-on-one, hit me up and I will send you my phone number, and y'all can talk to us one-on-one about our adventure. Any other questions, just post them and we'll try to answer them right there so everybody else can see them, as well as talk about it on the next video. In the meantime, bonsoir, au revoir tout le monde.
Bye-bye.